Yo, what is up, pussies? Oh wait, I'll just fucking.
What?
I'll just go. We're back with another episode of MogCast number 7, and then you say something.
I feel like leaving this part in, but I won't.
Yo, what is up, pussies? We are back with another episode of MogCast, episode 7. I'm here with.
We're on 7 already.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm here with host James English, like last time. Remember?
Yes.
Got to start introducing ourselves. I'm Sush.
We're both co-hosts. Are we both hosts or both co-hosts?
We're co-hosts. Because you can't.
I don't want to be a co-anything. We're both hosts.
We're both hosts, yeah, but we're co-hosts. Co-ho for short, though.
Co-ho?
Co-ho. Here with my co-ho, James.
My co-ho. Yo, guys, we say this every single podcast, but that's because
it's true.
It's true, and it just keeps getting crazier, but what did we expect with the first pod? We expected first one would be like
30K in 24 hours. That was my guess. No, wait.
No, it wasn't. It was
10K.
It was 10. If we said, oh, if this gets 10K, we're in the clear.
Yeah, it's a W.
We were going to be embarrassed if it got less than 10K since our other channels get so many more views than that. But we were like, okay, 10K, we're in the clear, but 20K in a day would be sick.
Yeah. And then it ended up being like 30, right?
It ended up being 30, but then the algorithm just kept taking it up and up and up. And now it's at 100.
Yeah, honestly, the YouTube algorithm blessed us with the first.
And it wasn't, dude. The production quality on that thing was so bad too.
Yeah,
stopping every 29 minutes, and the alarm would go off. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I left the alarm in when I was editing the pod, but people were like, "Bro, I like the podcast, but you got to edit out that fucking alarm sound. It's giving me PTSD."
Yo, but by the way, I saw this. Some of you guys caught it in the earlier pods, but like you guys just started seeing it recently. I don't know if you guys can see it in the frame, but behind James, bend over. Yeah, see behind James that like burnt outlet thing.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we don't know if you can see it, but in the old podcast, you guys could probably see it.
Right back there.
We had the air fryer there, and then we're idiot fucking college kids. Okay, we're idiot 20-year-olds.
We're not college kids.
We fucking dropped out. Fuck school. we had the air fryer there, and we're cooking up our chicken for about 4 months, I'd say. And then, dude, no, literally, bro. Oh no, it was when I got the new one. It was when I got the new air fryer, and you were like
to move it out.
Yeah, bro. And I remember you asking, "What does that smell?" Like you were like, "What's that smell?" It smells like plastic. And I thought it was just shit inside the new air fryer.
Yeah, I figured. Dude,
the industrial,
our criticism, it was like
so dumb.
It was like, oh yeah, it's probably just like some shit from like the factory. It's like melting in there. It's probably safe though. And it was literally like intense burning plastic smell. We're like, yeah, man, it's probably good.
From Amazon, Jeff Bezos pulling a little prank. But yeah, literally that thing was getting melted the fuck out of. So we actually had the landlord here yesterday.
He didn't see it.
Yeah, he didn't see that shit. No, I don't think so. But we got the dryer.
Security deposit.
We got the dryer fixed.
Well, we haven't gotten it fixed yet. Right now,
we have a solution.
we have a sauna.
We have a sauna in the house.
We have a steam room, dude. So basically, the dryer got super fucked. And what happened is there's like the vent that leads all the hot air out of the house, and that got clogged, and it's full of stuff, probably lint and shit. So right now, the dryer is just disconnected. It's just like on its own in the room. So all the like the moist hot air just circulates into the room, and there is a little vent fan in there, but it doesn't do too much. So if you dry your clothes and you walk in there, it's just like you're walking into a cloud.
Yeah,
dude.
Bro, there's so much condensation. Like
on
the walls,
it's like on the floor
crazy.
too. It's like I had to go in there and like mop it up. But hey, it works, man.
Yeah, we got the dryer working. I was literally hanging my clothes. I felt like fucking Anne Frank.
Who's
like some old ass fucking historian, dude. Like who's like a famous
not Anne Frank, bro.
Like a pilgrim, bro.
Okay, a pilgrim.
I felt like a pilgrim. I had my shit hanging up on a dude. Sush. Fucking somatic.
Sush canceled.
Somatic. I had like my shit hanging up on my like
clothing hangers.
And
you had the fan.
And I had my fan like literally drying my clothes.
Little 24-hour drying cycle.
Yeah, bro. Literally took 24 hours to dry my clothes. But enough talk about drying our clothes.
And then me and Eric's light bulbs went out. Did I just dox his name? Do people not know his real name?
No, Madrid Eric. I say Eric all the time in my vids. Shows you don't watch my vids.
I do actually. I do watch your vids. They're funny. But our light bulbs went out. Mine was probably out for a week. His was out for like 2 months. And that's how fucking lazy we are, guys. Like, it took us a week of complaining about our light bulbs being out just for me to say, let's go to Lowe's right now before we get too lazy. And then we finally went, and now we got power. So we're doing a little home renovation.
Yeah.
We're doing a little home renovation. We got our dryer. We got a steam room in the house now. We got our light bulbs working. And I got the actual numbers. First pod, 138,000 views. Second, 189,000 views.
That's going to hit 200K in probably 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so right now, we've made 7 podcasts, and 6 of them have hit 100K, which is just insane. Like, we had dude, that's better than our channels.
Yeah, I don't have, that's literally, like, the average number of views on that is, like, better than, like, the average number of my most recent, like, 15 videos.
Yeah, and I think I probably have 6 or 7 vids on my whole channel that have 100K plus views. And already on this one.
I don't know. Can y'all tell us, like, bro, boost the algorithm, please. Can y'all tell us where you found the podcast, whether it was from my channel, James' channel, or if it was just YouTube recommended? Because I think it's a combination of my viewers, your viewers, who generally are the same, but there is a little bit who only watch me.
Let's say there's 60% are the same, 40% are unique. Yeah. Or maybe 70-30, right?
Yeah, probably around 70-30, maybe even 80-20.
Well, because people that like me know that you're going to be in my... People...
That like me.
Yeah. They know that you're going to be in my videos. So even if they like you more than they like me, they're still going to watch my videos because you're going to be in them.
Right.
And vice versa. So it's like, I feel like it's got to be at least 70-30. But it doesn't make sense. The math doesn't add up. Like, how are we getting this many views? I guess it's algorithm, but they're not clickbaity like thumbnails. It's just us sitting at a table, bro.
And maybe because we're just so handsome.
Yeah, that could be why.
Use this as the thumbnail for this one, James. but we don't know why. Like, we have people DM us.
Oh, shit.
Or they'll tag us in their stories, and they're like, yo, love the MogCast, right? Yeah. And then we go and they're following. Usually it's girls. Like, it's been multiple times it's been girls.
There was this girl that tagged us both.
Very beautiful girls, by the way.
Yeah.
Rockets, some might say.
She was doing, like, hip thrusts, and then she was, like, mogged. And she didn't follow either one of us.
Yeah, but she's definitely listening right now.
But she's like, we're about to put you on blast. So turn it off if you're highly sensitive.
I don't know what your name was.
That shit pissed me off. I appreciated the support.
Yeah, she had 10K followers, 9K.
Yeah. So it was probably like, free. Not what's the more formal word for clout?
Free exposure.
Yes, exactly. But how? Like, you know who we are. You follow MogCast. She followed the MogCast page, but didn't follow either one of us. I'm like, what?
Yeah, maybe.
And it makes me wonder, how did she even like find our podcast?
Bro,
if she doesn't follow us.
It's gotta be the tags, like, and she sees a thumbnail with like Zach or Joe. She knew one of them. Maybe she knew Noel. She followed Noel.
Okay.
So probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's also like girls that I've talked to that have DM'd me, and I'm like, yo, I'll just ask, yo, how did you like come about my Instagram? Because sometimes I like to know, especially when it's girls, because it's like it could be from TikTok, YouTube, whatever, Explore page, whatever. And so usually like they're gonna say like YouTube, and I'll be like, the podcast, and they're like, yeah. So
damn,
I don't know. It's really weird.
Crazy, but I think it's also because YouTube probably pumps it out to a lot of people, like recommends it to everyone, because our watch time is really good. Like, even for new people that get recommended, a lot of them are watching. The average watch time, even with people that have never seen us before, it's like 20, 25 minutes on some of these episodes. So it's like YouTube probably sees that, and they just like recommend it a bunch.
Yeah. How many of you guys, I want to know, how many of you guys actually watch all the way through, or you guys skim around or like look at timestamps in the comments? We don't do timestamps ourselves because so many people guys ask, yo, timestamps. We want you guys to watch the whole podcast. I don't want you guys to skip around.
Obviously, we do want you to watch the whole podcast, but also I edit these podcasts. And guys, we probably, imagine me timestamping
what we've talked about
so far. It's been probably like 2 topics, but it's been like 20 subtopics. So sometimes I don't even know how to divvy it up. If we start talking about aliens, and then we start talking about a bunch of random shit in between, and then circle back around to aliens, it's like, how do I timestamp that? So
yeah. It's like sometimes we don't even know what to fucking title the podcast.
Yeah, because it's like, what did we even talk about? We just sat here.
And you guys want us to do timestamps, bro? You're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, bro. Joe Rogan doesn't do that shit. Or maybe he does. Does he? I don't think so.
I don't know.
But, yo, comment below. If you're still watching at this point, comment below.
11 minutes in.
And just say, if you knew us before you watched the podcast or if you found us through the podcast. Because I want to see if it's like 50-50, that would be crazy. 50% of people didn't know who we were.
I don't think it'd be 50-50.
Yeah. It's probably like
70-20 or
or
80-20.
Or 80-20, yeah.
Yeah.
But in this one, we've, all of our other podcasts have just been basically you and me just chatting, crackhead hours, just talking about whatever.
We've had a lot of good feedback on the ones where it's just you and I.
Yeah, that's true. But just to kind of switch it up and just have some creative input from brains other than our own, we made a little question box on the MogCast story.
Make sure you guys are following the MogCast Instagram. It's just MogCast. It's also in the description. Yeah,
so it's just at MogCast. And we post clips on there. Sometimes we haven't in a while. We really should. But we post stories a lot there. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people responded to that. And we picked a few of the best that we haven't talked about before. So first things first. Someone said, hardest things about being a content creator. And do you want to go first?
Well, bro, honestly, I can't even lie.
Jesus, I'm sorry, guys, if that was loud.
I can't even lie. Like, I haven't, I don't want to, I would say the hardest thing is just coming up with content. But for me, it's like I barely have to do anything just because I'm so entertaining. So entertaining, charismatic in front of the camera. Like, there's not really anything hard about it. It's just like, I would say the hardest thing is being consistent.
Yes.
Because even you have a little bit of trouble doing that. It's just like.
Yeah. Well,
maybe.
I feel like hard is the wrong word. Because hard, when I think of hard, I think of like construction, or like manual labor. Like, the hardest part is like moving bricks all day, I feel like there's nothing really hard about it. It's more just like, developing thick skin, because there are a lot of people that would much rather have a hard job over what we do, just because, like, hard as in manual labor. They would rather just say, listen, I don't want to deal with all this bullshit. I'm just going to be a bricklayer. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, I've seen it firsthand. We've seen firsthand
we have.
The effects that a lot of fame in short time, or not fame, because it's not like we're famous. I don't know.
But it's so weird. Like, what would you consider like Instagram famous or like YouTube famous? It's so weird.
But there's plenty of people that are just Instagram famous. But
the perfect word is clout, honestly.
Yeah.
Quick clout,
quick followers. And, we actually screenshotted. We wanted to screenshot this thing a few days ago from Mike Cernovich. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was a quote that he said that really struck us. This is the quote. Being a public figure is living life at scale. In private life, you meet one asshole per week. In public life, it's 100 or 1,000 times, the quote-unquote fame multiplier. But you also meet more amazing people who you'd have never encountered in 100 lifetimes. It's all how you choose to see it. So there's a lot of people that in their normal lives, they're going to meet one asshole per week.
Yeah.
And that one asshole is going to affect them like a normal amount. They're going to think about it for a few hours and be like, why'd that person say that to me, right? But when all of a sudden they go from having 1,000 followers to having 100,000 followers, all of a sudden you're going to get 100 times that amount of assholes. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have thick skin, which is not necessarily something that you're just born with, it's something that you develop over time.
100%.
Right? So,
because I would say I didn't really have. Well, there's some stuff that cuts deep.
Yeah,
I think for everybody, there's something for everybody that will cut deep, and it's just like being able to. It sounds so cliche, but being able to like funnel that into like motivation sounds so good.
Yeah, I think for now that is true, but I think with people like Mike Cernovich, that dude has been in the public eye for like decades now or whatever. I think for people like him, he's got a family, a wife, kids, right? I don't think anything really cuts deep for him from people online.
That's true.
Because he probably is just like,
he's worried about getting his
I've
bag.
made it.
Yeah.
I've made it. Like, I've got a family. I've got kids. I'm financially set. Who are you? You can say whatever you want about me negatively, right? So I wouldn't say we're quite at that stage of like just complete zen yet. There are still things where we're like, bro, listen to this fucking guy. Listen to what this guy said, you know? But it's definitely gotten better, at least for me, because, bro, I see sometimes for some reason I'll see an old post of mine, and I'll see like a reply I left to someone where I'm like, here's why you're wrong in MLA format, reasons XYZ,
Yeah.
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And I look back and I'm like, why did I spend so much time out of my day responding to this guy? Whereas nowadays I would just like ignore it, you know? And that's clearly, that just comes with experience of time.
I've been using the block button lately, honestly. And
Yeah.
I kind of learned it from
me.
you. Yeah. Cause he was telling me, I don't know whoever you saw it from. It was like,
It was Lane Norton, surprisingly enough. He said,
Yeah, what'd he
this
say?
page, he said, my Instagram page is not a democracy. It's a dictatorship. If I don't like something that you say, I can just block you.
yeah, exactly. And then you can't get upset because like, this is my account. The block button is there for a reason.
Yeah.
So if you
There's
say
some people
something,
that get mad, they're like, bro, why'd you block me on my other account?
I had somebody who has a pretty big platform. I deleted a comment and he hit me up and he was like censoring. He was like the censorship ? And I'm like, it's not really censorship, bro. It's like if I don't want to see a fucking comment, then I'm gonna delete it.
Or it is censorship, but who are you to say I can't censor
exactly,
you, bro?
Exactly. But it's like, bro, I had a guy. Okay, so we'll get into this later, but like I've been seeing this girl. I know it's really fucking complicated because last podcast I said I was single. Whatever. This guy comments on her thing and he's like, damn, Sushi's fucking with sixes now. And bro, I literally said, that's crazy. Get blocked. And I blocked him immediately and like he got ratioed the fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, and then I was like reading what he was saying and he was like, bro, I don't have any social media clout and I pull badder bitches than Sush. And I'm just like looking at this guy and I was just like, dude, like what are you doing, bro?
Yeah. But it's like, okay, in theory, obviously he doesn't. But in theory, even if he did, this is just always a question that I have. What gets into your head to go on social media and like brag about it?
No, somebody actually replied to this guy. So shout out to you because I know you're listening because you listen to the podcast. He goes, they literally talked about people like you on the MogCast because you're so insecure. And that's when he said, I'm not insecure. I pull badder bitches than Sushi. And it's like, bro, you're just digging yourself a deeper hole here,
you're
bud.
literally just proving my point.
Yeah, but I blocked that guy. So it's like, I mean, if somebody says some stupid shit, and he was following me too, and like, it's like, bro, why are you following me? And then you're gonna say some shit like that where I can just boot you off. Yeah. So it's like, if you're gonna say some shit, dude, especially when you're following me, it's not like just because you're following me doesn't make you invincible, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there is certain, like, I'm not gonna block everyone, so don't think that you can't like criticize me.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people where they throw some hate or they say like, bro, like your gyno's gonna look bad when you cut or something. And I'm like, fuck, like, why are you hating? But I'm not going to block you. But if you just come on, especially if it's like a fake account, you know, and you don't follow me and you just comment some like shit that is clearly only intended to try to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, especially if I wake up and that's the first thing I see, I'm like half awake. I'm like, yeah, you're getting blocked.
Yeah. You don't even know thought into it.
Yeah.
Like I had an account today. I feel like this is cool for you guys to hear, like, kind of like see our notifications. Because everyone always asks, like, what's it like being an influencer? So I had an account today. He had 1 follower, 0 following. So I know he had just like made the account.
Right.
Homie commented, he was like, I don't know, on a pretty old pic. And he was like, you're fucking your face up with the steroids with like a crying emoji. And I was like, it's not even worth blocking an account like that because it's like in a fake account. But I'm just thinking like, bro, you either went on like an alt account to comment this, or you made a whole new account to comment this. And I'm just thinking like, bro, like,
because you have to think how much prior to this comment, how much thought had you put into this guy? None. You didn't even know that he existed.
Yeah.
But
now he knows I'm thinking about him.
Versus how much thought had he put into you? He put so much thought into you and you had affected him mentally so badly that he felt the need to take time out of his day to go hit add account, add new account, type in the email, make a password,
made a new email, bro. It was
came up
like,
with a username, followed someone for some reason, went on an old ass pic of you. Dude probably took 10 minutes out of his day that he could have been doing literally anything else would have been more productive.
Yeah.
Just for you to see it and be like, the fuck?
Yeah. So at the
was it worth it?
Like, bro, what? So at the end of the day, I would say, yeah, for you, that's a pretty good answer. Thicker skin is like being able to deal with retarded motherfuckers. So like people who say dumb shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, for me, I would say, like I said, is like kind of being consistent. But I don't really think I have a problem with that either. I think maybe the thicker skin thing is pretty good though.
It's mainly just that, because as I was saying, like, we've seen it before. If you're dealing with one asshole a week and you immediately go to 100 times that or 1,000 times that, think about these TikTokers that are getting like millions of followers, right?
Yeah.
If they're not the type of person that knows, especially because these kids are young, right? Most people are not going to have thick skin at that age. So they're going to go from being nobodies, not actually nobodies, but on social media, basically being nobodies, to all of a sudden having 1 million followers and just so much hate and vitriol and just horrible things said at them. And bro, to an average person that's not used to having that kind of following, they think that this represents the majority, because they're like, they think there's no way that there can be this many negative comments unless everyone feels like
it's
this.
Crazy. It's crazy, right? When there's how your brain works. When there's 100 awesome comments like, bro, your physique is sick.
Yeah.
Like I'm a victim of it. Or like, I'm not a victim, but whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
I do this shit.
Yeah.
There's 100 like awesome comments, bro, and then I see one where it's like
guilty of it,
looking soft. Yeah, I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
It's like looking soft, or like abs look like shit, or abs are fading.
Right.
I'll focus on that one rather than 100 of the bulk was great, your bulk is looking sick, like can't wait for you to cut, you're about to look insane.
Right.
But I'll focus on that one just because that's how.
I think that's how all people are wired, because you're more sensitive to negative things, and I think part of the reason for it is, I always get deep on every podcast. Sorry guys if you're not into that, but I think like
no, they want to pick your brain.
In like a brain wiring standpoint, positive things can't kill you in the wild, but negative things can. So positive things are nice and fuzzy, but they don't have any threat of harming you, versus negative things do. So naturally, from just a evolution standpoint, you're going to focus on the negative things more, and that carries over into the digital age. Like, I've got to focus on these negative things more because I don't want to be a social outcast, because humans are naturally more social animals, right? And there is this little social experiment done where they found that people are much more likely that they treat losing $10 as much more of a big deal than gaining $10. So they're much more willing to bet on something where they gain a lot, but they're much less willing to bet on something where they lose a little. So it's just this whole idea that people are naturally just going to focus more on negative things. And the more aware of that you are, the more you can say, okay, let's be reasonable here. Let's look at these 100 positive comments.
Yeah.
And if you actually go through them and take them all in, you start to like feel better. And you're like, oh wait, I was totally overthinking this thing.
I almost feel bad. Like sometimes, so I'll be like, okay, you guys probably know that like James and I's DMs are pretty flooded. So I'll like be scrolling through my DMs, and usually the way I do it is I just pick a fucking random one. Or if it's somebody that I've already responded to who I know has something good to say, I'll click on it. So I'm just like scrolling, and then if I see the preview and the guy's like hating, I'll click on it and probably say something. And I feel bad because honestly, like there's probably a million other DMs where they're being super fucking genuine, super nice. Maybe they're using my code, but I'm over here fucking responding to this idiot for no reason.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that now, and I'm like, damn, I should really stop fucking doing that. When like I see a comment or a DM like that, why should I
respond to it?
Well, when I can easily just respond to someone who actually actually fucks with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually fucking fucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and I wanted to. But real quick, I feel like going back to the actual question, what's the hardest thing about content creation? That's for us. That's a different question for somebody else.
Because we have experience in it.
Well, not only
you just gained 100 subs.
I think we're
good job, bud.
89.4.
Let's see. Oh wait, it hasn't refreshed.
Yeah,
89.4. Let's go.
Good
shit.
Almost on 100, guys.
But you were saying?
But yeah, so like different content creators, I feel like have to try pretty hard to come up with content. Versus us, like I said last podcast, we kind of just pick up the camera and film our day. So it's not really that hard to us. But for somebody else who's like doing like always coming up with these like crazy ideas.
Okay, yeah. Let's
that would be hard.
Because I got to give props to Jesse James West here, right? Regardless of what you might think of his content, that dude has to be just fucking brainstorming all the time.
Yeah.
Because his content is more of like the
mainstream
like viral type, right? So he's not just going to like pick up. It's not really his style, and it would just be weird. People would probably still watch, but it would just kind of be weird if he just did like an us style vid.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine the position that he's in where it's like,
because he's chasing 1 million subs, and to get 1 million subs, you can't have a cult of 1 million. Like you can't,
you got to make that viral type content.
I'll probably never hit 1 million. No way.
Yeah, same. I mean, probably not. Yeah, probably not. I mean, unless we start doing like the viral type vids.
Maybe the podcast could hit maybe podcast could hit 1 million.
Yeah, but for someone like that, you know, or like I don't know, what's another type, like Logan Paul, you know, someone that just makes it's all like clickbaity stuff. You got to be sitting around thinking, what's the craziest fucking shit I can do today?
But then you get into like the Logan Paul thing where like, dude was literally blinded by the content, and he filmed a dead body because he thought, he thought, it'd be good content because he was literally
you just get laser focused on that.
He was so obsessed with content where he didn't understand like,
or he probably
morals.
understood it, but at some point you get so addicted to like that risk versus reward that you're like, I got to film the next craziest thing, even crazier, even crazier. And eventually you're filming a dead person in the forest, and normal people are like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, thick skin, creativity, you know, I'd say for most YouTubers, most content creators, creativity is going to be a big thing because eventually it's going to run out. And then what are you going to do? The fact that
not everyone can do it, guys. Like, not everybody can just create content.
Yeah.
Like, you could have, like, this. I mean, don't get me wrong. The sickest camera equipment and everything, all these mics and stuff, you can go all out on the equipment and stuff. But if you don't have, like, if you're not built for it, if you don't have the brain for it, then you're just, sometimes you're not going to.
Or I feel like there are some people, there are a lot of people probably that do have the brain for it. The number one thing that they can't move past that I think separates people who can survive all the negativity and hate and just eyes on them versus the people who can't survive it is just the fact, it's just fear. It's just fear and like, I can't deal with this, you know?
Yeah.
And that is something that can be learned. So it's not like most people aren't built for it. I think a lot of people at their core, they're funny enough, entertaining enough, interesting enough to be able to make content that hypothetically people would want to watch. It's just 99% of people can't get past A, the fear factor of having all the eyes on them, B, the fear factor of I'm responsible for my own destiny now. I don't have some employer telling me what to do and I have to clock in. And yeah, it's boring doing that, but it's also
safe.
Easy in a way. It's safe. Yeah, exactly. Because you know exactly what you have to do. There's no book, there's no boss that's telling you what to do if you're a content creator. You literally have to do your own thing. And facing that is kind of like, holy fuck, like what am I actually going to do, you know?
Bro, we were talking about it today in the car where I was talking to James and I was like, bro, well, because, okay, both of us came off of really good months. Just in general of like,
thank you guys. You fucking killed it, bro.
Like Young
you guys
LA,
killed it. Yeah.
Gorilla Mode, and then our YouTubes. We all had a really good months. All the athletes, and I think definitely record months for both companies.
Yeah.
So we were driving to the gym today, and I was like, bro, when is the day gonna be, or when is the month gonna be where the next month hits, and and everyone's just like, fuck these guys, we're done fucking with them.
Right, but that's a fear that like everyone has.
But you don't really have that fear if you have a like regular job. You don't really have that fear because like you're like in a contract or whatever, like your 1 year salary.
Right, exactly.
I don't really know how it works, but like
or you're
us,
just
it's
employed.
Like,
and you know, as long as I show up and do my job and I do a good job, I'll be fine.
Exactly. And so for us, it's like because literally most of our, I mean, at least most of my income comes from like commission, from people using my codes. So it's like when so if everyone just decides, I'm not gonna use these codes,
fuck these guys.
dude, I'd be like, yo, like this, like I could go from a great month to like a literal shitty month.
Yeah.
So that's also pretty scary. That I don't think people realize is like, because I mean, when you're out in the world, like you have to support yourself. Like you have to make money.
I think it's different if you want to be a content creator that's more an informative content creator. That's kind of the safer route. So if you have some kind of skill or something that you know a lot of people could. Yeah, if you know you have a skill that a lot of people could value, like Derek's sitting there, he's like, what am I going to do with my life? And then he's like, hold on, I know so much shit about pickup artist, PUA, right? And
pharmaceutical,
like gear and just other chemical enhancement to the body, just overall male enhancement. I know so much shit about this. Why don't I just start making vids about it? You know? So I wouldn't, I don't want to belittle him by saying that it's like safer or like easier, but I just feel like if you do have that kind of skill, you can have a little more peace of mind knowing, hey, I do actually have something to like offer.
Yeah.
It's like real actual info, knowledge, etc. But with someone like us, where it mostly just comes
we
down
don't like
to
the word influencers though, but we are influencers.
I would say entertainers, right?
Yeah.
Where it comes down to just entertainment. I mean,
well, I would say we're definitely influencers as well though.
Right, but what I'm saying is people watch our content to be entertained. Because okay, Hannah's stepdad manages social media stuff, and he asked me, "What's your brand?" And I was like, I just like do fitness shit. He's like, no, but what's your brand? And that's when I was like, I don't know, man. Because he's like this fucking giant to me in terms of like knowing shit about social media. I mean, he literally runs a social media company. So I'm like, honestly, man, I don't know what you're even talking about. And he's like, well, what is it? Like, do you do this? Do you do that? Do you do entertainment? And I'd say, yeah, I guess actually my brand is just like entertainment. I never thought of it that way, but yeah, I guess I'm just like an entertainer. Yeah. I mean, that's why people are watching my shit. I guess some of it is like informative. They want to get forum tips. They want to see what I eat, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I could just upload a video that is just like a day in my life where I'm not really giving any info and people are still going to watch it because they want to be entertained. So
even sorry to cut you off, but even like stories and posts, like every single thing I do, I was trying to explain this to my girl. Every single thing that I do is like for entertainment. So like, cause I was talking to her and I was like, listen, let's say like I just flirted with a girl on somebody's post, and that's just purely for entertainment for other people to be like, yo, this is funny. I'm gonna like this comment, or I'm gonna like, just think about it. If I have like a funny comment on a girl's post and like it gets a hella likes, like, bro, think about the people seeing that and like sending it to their buddies, be like, yo, look what Sue said here.
Yeah.
And then maybe he's not following me, so then maybe he follows me and then he starts watching my shit. So like everything I do is literally just for, like for entertainment, like you said. So yeah, we're like people laugh, so we're like entertainers.
Yeah.
So every story I do, every comment I do, like everything's a move, It's almost like that.
Yeah. So the downside to that is like,
you never know what's real.
Well, no. I mean, obviously we're pretty authentic, especially on the podcast. It's like, I think everyone pretty much understands there's no filter here.
Yeah.
But the downside to being that type of influencer, even though I fucking hate that word, is there's no security. There's no job security at all. What happens if you stop being entertaining?
Yeah.
You got no information to offer people. You got no tips and tricks. You don't know fucking, here's some male enhancement tips. You don't know
Imagine people woke up and they're just like, yeah, Sushi isn't funny and he actually looks like shit. So it's like I wake up and 0 followers.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, we spent a good amount of time on that one.
So that was content creation. But I do want to talk about, because I've been referring to my girl. Because I want to talk about that really quick.
Okay.
Just real fast. So yeah, last podcast I said, okay, by the way, stop asking about Mila. Like, none of this has to do with Mila. So last podcast I think I said I wasn't in a relationship. Dude, honestly, I don't know. But we were, okay, so me and this girl, we were dating for like a week, and then I decided, you know what? We shouldn't, because like I'm attracted to other girls. And then I went about 6 days. Like,
and you were down bad.
Dude, I was so down bad. And like,
I'd never seen you like that. I mean, honestly.
Dude, homie was lonely, dude. I was just straight up lonely, and I was like, fuck, I really miss this girl.
And I could tell, because you would just be like, I could tell when you were kind of sad, and you would just try to talk about literally anything with me.
Yeah.
And I would like entertain it and be like, oh, yeah, because I just knew like you literally just needed to get your mind off shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And so I was just sad, and I realized like, dude, I really need this girl in my life right now. So
fuck this thing, bro.
Here, put a napkin.
Yeah.
So I talked to her. I started talking to her again, and she was like obviously super upset, and she was like, I mean, thankfully enough, she was sweet enough to, let me plead my case. And she decided to like give me another shot, and she was like, you need to be like fully committed, because we did have a couple of issues where I was like commenting on other girls' TikToks while we were dating, and she was upset. But like I said, I feel like that's kind of just like for publicity, you know?
Right.
But
even at this point, it's like
kind of
more.
fucked. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we got back together and it's been like really good. And I was like, kind of, if you guys keep up on my Instagram stories, I kind of like was posting her a little bit on my story, which I don't do because I have that
tag
joke.
too with the tag,
which I never do.
That's big.
Which is like the no free clout joke that I used to have. I would never, like, if I ever posted a girl, like Noelle's different because she was already on social media. She already has a presence. But like any random girls, I would never post them. I would never tag them. Or if I did post them, I wouldn't tag them. But like this girl, like I put her on my story and like, I don't know, you guys like were pretty hyped about it. Like a lot of you guys were swiping up. I had one guy, I forget his name. I don't want to fuck it up because then he'd feel bad. So he DM'd me and he was like, bro, like, I'm really proud of you because it looks like you're settling down with this girl. And honestly, like, if you really like her, then stay with her. Stop. Like, don't hoe around just because you think you have something to prove.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Which
That's
is
the biggest fucking thing I see these days.
Which is for me is like, because I told you guys I was like a virgin in high school and shit. And so we've been over this. Like, I wanted to go through my whole phase. You know, I wanted to get a lot of bodies and make up for it. But like, I know I don't want to ruin a good thing, especially right now with a girl that I have. I mean, I'm 20 years old, so I don't really.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. You know, I'm pretty young. So it's like, I don't want to ruin a good thing that I have going right now just to go fuck some
random girls. Yeah.
Random girls.
And it's usually not even.
Which is so different because a month ago on the podcast, I was talking about, yo, dude, I want to go around and fuck all these girls, you know?
Yeah.
But like.
I think eventually you just kind of wake up and you're like.
It depends on the girl.
It does. It also depends on if you do have a special girl in your life that maybe you're not dating and you're seeing other girls. Eventually you're going to get to the point where it's just like, okay, like I fucked all these girls and nothing has changed. Yeah. Like I'm still, I still have all the same issues and I don't even remember these people's names. And it's like, you're basically, I hate this term, but you're basically using them as a human fleshlight. Yeah. They're masturbating with your body and you're masturbating with theirs.
Because there's no
connection at all.
Yeah.
And like, at that point, it's just, you're not really even trying to prove it to other people. You're trying to prove it to yourself that like, I can do this. Yeah. I'm the man. It's the complete opposite.
Yeah. It's not so much me trying to prove it to it's like proving something to myself, of me like wanting to have sex with a lot of girls. But now I'm like kind of getting over that a little bit. And I will say that the sex, being intimate and having sex is a lot better.
It's not even in the same ballpark. Dude.
Yeah,
it's like two different fucking things.
So different.
Yeah,
it's so different. It's like
it's not in the same ballpark. And like,
and don't get me wrong,
that's
like,
why
sex is good.
If you go like, let's say you break up with your girl. And not you, but just generally, if one breaks up with their girl and then they're like, oh, I got to go have sex with someone else so that I can like get her out of my head, you're going to realize real quick, like, damn, that sex was nothing compared to the fucking sex that I was having with my girl. So it's like, Mike Cernovich talked about this on the Timcast IRL podcast. It was such a good podcast. Watch it after this one. Don't click off, but that's a really good podcast. But he was saying like, all these people think that, once you get in a relationship, then you can't do like the kinky, freaky stuff or whatever. But he was saying it's actually the opposite. You're not going to do that kind of stuff with a random girl. You're going to do that with someone that you're close with and comfortable with.
You're probably going to be pretty vanilla with a random girl.
Yeah, or more vanilla than you would be. You're not going to be all the shit that is like, low key, like I want to try this, right? You're not going to say that to some girl you don't even know her last name,
Dude, so when we had that break, and she came back over, bro, no joke, that was the best sex of my life. Mm-hmm. Like, just because there was so
Sounded like it.
There was so much emotion, and like, bro, we literally, like, I don't know, it was just super, like, it's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. Almost,
makeup sex, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah, makeup sex, but also it was just not like spiritual. Like, what would be the word for it? Like,
I mean,
it was more than just physical.
I like that word.
It was more than just physical.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was
like emotional sex as well.
Passionate, emotional.
Yeah. And
I mean, spiritual, it sounds cliche, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It's just different. You're not going to have a moment like that. Like, if you've experienced that now, so you can pretty confidently understand when I say you're not going to have a moment like that with some girl that you're only hooking
just
up
some
with.
Random girl.
Yeah.
But you were saying being like, because going back to what you said, you were saying you're not going to be, or you might be vanilla with like a girl that you're not, you know, it's like goes back to being comfortable with them. Mm-hmm. And like with this girl, I'm super comfortable. Like I let her, dude, I don't let anyone fucking touch my face and shit. Because I'm like super insecure about my acting. Like I don't like, you know, touching on it just because it's like sensitive and shit. And like I literally let her like
give you a spa.
Yeah, she gave me a spa yesterday, which was pretty dope. Like
That
it
is
actually
sick.
helped. It actually helped my skin a lot. But she was like, she literally touching my face and stuff, and like she'll touch my eyebrows and like I've never had anything like that. And honestly, I don't think anyone's seen me like
that.
Yeah, no one has seen me like that ever in my
Yeah.
entire life. Like maybe my mom,
Yeah.
and that's about it. Maybe my
It's
sister.
just so
too.
much better, dude. I'm sorry, but I'm totally a relationship guy. It's just so much better than being single and like hoeing around. Like, but it doesn't involve you finding, it doesn't have to be the one, quote unquote, but it does have to be someone that like you actually really enjoy their company.
Yeah,
You know?
you can't just pick a random girl and be like, yeah, I'm gonna settle down with this.
Right,
one.
exactly.
You can't force
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What else do we got?
Next one, I'm trying to pick because, I mean, fuck it. I'm just
42
gonna pick
minutes
the next
already?
one.
Jeez, bro.
Yeah, but we didn't start for like 10 minutes. So it's like 32. How to increase confidence or social anxiety. Or how to get better with social anxiety. Honestly, I think this one's pretty short. The number one thing is just like the more experience you have just talking to human beings, the better you're going to be. So like not many 14-year-olds are as confident as a 25-year-old.
Yeah,
Because
you have to practice.
they haven't lived as long. It's like the more practice you have getting to know people and just like conversing with them, the naturally better it's going to get.
This is going to sound weird, but even the littlest shit where like, let's say you're at the grocery store and you're in line and you're like, you just look back at the person behind you and you're just like conversate with them. And little shit like that, like maybe one conversation a day with a stranger.
Yeah, literally.
Like that, dude, think about how in a month, bro, you'd had talked to 30 different people, like randoms.
Yeah.
And then let's say you want to like, you're talking about being confident. Let's say you want to go up to a girl that you never talked to. It'd be like talking to any other 30 other people that you just talked to.
And a good one is if there is like a somewhat attractive girl behind you and let's say you're shopping or whatever, waiting in line, just try to have a conversation without her without the pretext of I'm going to get her number. Literally just talk to her.
Yeah, you don't even
and then
have to.
go back doing whatever you were doing, right? And notice how anytime you do that with someone, if you make a little joke or something or just talk with them, they're always 99.9% of the time, unless their dog just died, right? If they're having a normal day and some stranger just decides to make conversation with them,
Yeah.
their eyes light up. They're always like,
Yeah.
you make some joke and their eyes light up and they're like, oh yeah.
Dude,
blah,
I do
blah,
this.
blah.
I do the same shit. Like when I'm at Kroger, bro.
Yeah.
And like, maybe I don't know. I can't think of a specific time, but like I'll literally just say like some random shit to some random person. Like whether it be a guy, girl, old woman,
Right.
whatever, like I'll make them laugh. Mm-hmm. And it's just like good to see because like you kind of just walk away from that and being like, damn, like I probably just like made her laugh for the first time in a little bit, or
Yeah.
like, you never know. It sounds so dumb, but you never know if they're having like a bad day, and like you might have just made their day. And so not only are you helping them, just like
Yeah, because if someone comes up to me and I'm just focusing on what flavor of Pringles I'm going to get, and then they make some joke
yeah.
and I laugh,
Yeah, it's
I
like-
just feel better. I've got a little pep in my step. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that was fun.
And
you
so
know?
not only are
so
you-
like that,
yeah.
you're going to have that same effect on someone else that you do that to. So
And then also you're gonna feel good because you're gonna be like, damn, I really just did that.
Yeah.
I just walked up to this random girl and made a funny joke.
yeah, and didn't try to get her number. Just
Yeah.
fucking did it because
literally just act like you're flirting. Like this is what I do. I swear to God, just act like you're flirting, but then don't ever like do anything about it. And it's just like people will see you as like charismatic. You know, you don't have to be a horny motherfucker and be like. At the end of it, be like, yo, so do you compete? Or like, what's your Snapchat?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do that. You can literally just be normal and flirt with them and be charismatic and be funny. And if you're not funny, pretend to be funny, bro. Fake it till you make it.
Notice how there's like no 60, 70-year-olds on the planet, or that's probably not true, but notice how 99% of them are not socially anxious. It's just because they've dealt with people for long enough. They have that experience of dealing with people where they realize like other people's opinion of you doesn't really matter, and like most people are actually friendly and nice.
Yeah.
Like, when's the last time you met some like awkward, quaking in their boots 70-year-old?
Yeah.
Never. They're almost always like too confident to the point where you're almost weirded out. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, yo, who's this old guy?
Yeah, exactly. It's because they just don't give a fuck at this point, because it's like they realize, because they have that experience. But if you're young and you don't have that experience, then, you know, you're going to default to like, oh shit, people are out to get me. I must not fit in, blah, blah, blah.
If you guys want to fake being confident, the main thing that you can do, I swear to God, is just eye contact, bro. When you're having a conversation with somebody, just look into their eye, because when you're looking around, bro, or like, I remember I had this TikTok where it was like, you're walking, like, you guys all know that huge guy in the gym. And I can guarantee you, when you guys were a lot smaller, or maybe you still are small and you do this, there's that huge guy in the gym, and you don't want to, because you're like intimidated by him, you'll like kind of do one of these, like, look. And like, you'll look at the ground.
Yeah.
Because I used to catch myself doing that. And it was just so like beta.
Dude, I'm the opposite of that now. And I think,
right, and
I'm not sure if it's weird, but I do that to people so much. Because I'm sorry, I totally
No, it's
just,
okay.
just
No, it's
cut you
okay.
off. But at the gym,
People probably do it to you.
No, but obviously there's a lot of people at the gym that want to come up to us and say something, but they're kind of waiting for eye contact, or they're waiting for like their in to come and say something, because they don't want to just interrupt my workout. So I'll be walking in, or I'll be moving in between sets, and someone will be looking at me, and I'll just look right at him, and I'll give him a little like, yo, what's up, with my head. And half the time he doesn't even know who I am, you know? And then I'm just like, oh, oops. But I would feel bad if I assumed that they weren't, because then they're probably like worried about talking to me, and I don't want to just leave them hanging, you know? So I'm just fucking eye contact with everyone at the gym.
No, what happened today, homie came into the gym, he was wearing Young LA hat, and he was wearing a Young LA sweatshirt. And so I knew, I was just like, okay, I know.
Yeah.
He's a kid. Like, sometimes if they're older guys, because Young LA is a pretty old brand. If they're older guys, I won't really pursue them, just because I've probably figured they don't know who I am. But if it's like a younger guy who's wearing Young LA, I'll like literally look at them, and then like he'll like look at me, and then he'll be like, is he looking at me? And then he'll like smile, and I'll be like, yo, what's up, man? Because I know that like deep down they're probably like super like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to
awkward,
bring it out. Bring
that
it out.
awkward 1% of the time where they're also just being friendly, and then you're like, yo, what's up, man? And they're like,
What's up?
what's up?
And then that's it. Yeah. Like a little fist bump.
Yeah.
Or no, I literally had that. Like, I'll walk by somebody and they'll be staring at me as I walk by, and I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? And I'll like give them a fist bump. I've never met them before in my life.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What's up, bro? You know,
And they're
give them
just
the
like,
classic
yeah, what's up, man?
yeah.
But honestly, like, you have to think, okay, anytime you're worried about being, okay, this is actually key. I just realized this
This is
in my
about
brain.
confidence?
Yes. Anytime you're worried about being unconfident or being socially anxious or awkward, imagine if what you're about to say to this person, imagine if a random person said that to you. And if your reaction is, oh, that would make me feel good, or that would make me feel happy, or that would make my day, that's exactly how it's going to make them feel, you know? So if you think, oh, I want to compliment that person's outfit, but I'm kind of scared because I don't know them, you have to think, okay, well, what if they complimented my outfit? How would I feel? Oh, I'd probably be pretty pumped. Bam, go say it to them.
Bro,
like if you evaluate it and you realize that would make me feel good, then go say it to them, because that's exactly how it's going to make them feel.
And that's one that I do all the time, where I'll say, yo, like, I really like your jacket or something, even though I probably fucking hate it, okay? I hate it, but if they're wearing something where I know they put it on today and they were like, yo, like, this is sick, or like, this is different, because like, it could be like some whack ass, like, I don't know, think about just
Gothic, it's got spikes on it.
Yeah, exactly, like some weird shit. I'm not saying weirdo, because I actually do kind of fuck with like the punk
Gothic shit.
but yeah, the punk look or whatever. But like some weird stuff that like regular people wouldn't like.
Yeah.
And I know that they put it on and they were like, ooh, I hope people will look at me in this. I'll literally be like, yo, I like your boots. Or like, oh, this is actually a perfect example. You know the high lace boots?
Yeah.
Where it like laces up to your knees or whatever. And there was this girl who actually, they looked pretty sick. And I was like, yo, like, I really like your boots. And she was like, oh, thank you. And like, that was the whole conversation, bro. But literally like just like looking into her eye and saying that, you know, kind of.
Yeah, it probably just made her happy.
Yeah, one, it makes her happy. And then two, it's like almost like a confidence boost to me, because it's like, I can really do that. Like I can just.
Yeah, it's easy.
I can do that. And that helps me be more confident whenever I need to actually be confident, rather than just talking to somebody random. But, I feel like waitresses and waiters have the most confidence ever because they talk to like off the job.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
they talk to so many new faces where they're such a natural at it. So honestly, work in the food business because I used to work in the food business
or sales.
Yeah, sales.
You gotta
same
be
shit.
hella charismatic.
When
in
you
sales,
see people,
bro.
when you're in these situations of like, you know, talking to people
Mm-hmm.
all day, different faces, different types of people, different sexes. It's like, bro, that's how you're gonna be comfortable around other people.
Yeah.
Is like just practicing. So literally, at the end of the day, we probably spent 30 minutes talking about this.
No, it's like 15.
15. To be confident, just practice. Just talk to random fucking people.
Yeah, so big takeaways from this one. Practice. You don't have to get their number. You can literally make conversation with the old woman in line or the old man in the fucking aisle or some young girl you see on the street. Doesn't matter. Just make conversation with them, compliment them, whatever.
And then when it's time, you can actually get their number because it's going to be that easy.
Yeah. And honestly, if you have a bunch of these little micro conversations, eventually you're going to meet someone where you're going to compliment their fit and they're going to be like, oh, actually, I noticed yours too. Conversation's going to start. And then it's going to be super easy to get their number because you're not going to have to force it. You're just going to be like, oh, wow, I met this like random person. They were really cool. Got their number.
Something like an outfit is really easy to do, especially when like, I'm just going to say this, not because I like Gymshark, but I'm just going to say this. If you see a girl wearing Gymshark and you're like, because a lot of girls do wear Gymshark or they'll wear athlete. Yeah. So you're like, oh, is that Gymshark? Or like, hey, I really like your Gymshark shirt. Like, where do you train? Like, that shit is so easy. Whether or not you're trying to smash or not, that shit is so easy to just, if you have a similar interest, you somehow see like, maybe their wallet or their phone case is something that you know of. It's like something like that. Just boom, common interest, and then that's your like
common interest is big.
Yeah, that's your go ahead.
I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I'm probably just gonna cut this part out because Sush is not gonna be talking to himself unless you got a really interesting conversation.
Honestly, maybe I will. We'll see.
You have to pee?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I'll say some good shit. Are you pooping right now, bro? I'm just like, I just opened up the MogCast Q&A and then somebody said, bro, Sush literally said this in a video a while ago. Y'all would talk about shaving legs and shit. And I was just saying like, yeah, I shave my legs. It's not gay at all. I mean, it is
Shaving
gay.
legs is not gay.
Dude, it'll literally make your legs look 10 times better. I swear to God. I also shave my arms as well because my forearms are small. So I shave them.
I want to, but Hannah likes arm hair.
The hair.
She's so particular with it. She doesn't like chest hair, but she likes arm hair.
Bro,
I'm like, okay.
I don't think there's any better feeling than being fully freshly shaved and hopping under your bed, like in the covers, bro. Dude, it feels so good on your skin. But yeah, I was just telling them that my girl shaved my legs, and I'm freshly shaved right now.
I'm getting laser. Day after Hannah gets here, we're gonna get it together, and just like
It's gonna take a few sessions though.
Yeah, I don't care. I'd rather not. You know, every time I use the trimmer, it takes like 20 minutes.
She's going to school for like all that shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. My girl, her name's Avery, by the way. I'm just gonna call her Avery. She is actually like into like skincare and cosmetology, so she knows all shit about acne and stuff.
Right.
And she knows.
That's perfect, bro.
No, bro, she literally like has helped me so much, like giving me products and.
Yeah, it looks less inflamed.
No, yeah, it definitely is. It could be the Accutane, but I don't really know, dude. Fucking Accutane.
No, it looks better compared to yesterday.
Oh.
So I don't think it's the
yeah.
Accutane.
I'm on day 16 of Accutane, and that shit sucks. It's not even working. But I think it's just because my skin is purging right now. Supposedly, it brings everything to the surface. It's kind of making it like cystic acne. It's annoying.
So question we got, is being on gear as bad as smoking and drinking in the long run? And I just wanted to talk about this real quick because first off,
depends how much gear you're running. It depends how much you're drinking.
Yeah, and smoking. So I assume you mean smoking weed.
No, probably cigarettes.
Or cigarettes. I mean, obviously cigarettes are going to be worse. But yeah, it depends. Like technically 70-year-old guys who are on TRT, are they running gear? I mean, technically, yeah.
Are they natty?
No, they're not natty.
Yeah, if a guy has low T and he genuinely needs TRT, is like technically he's not natty, but he's probably just like a regular guy.
And he's probably healthier than someone with low T. Dude. But obviously they're referring to, when they're saying gear, they're saying like bodybuilder gear.
Right.
But then again, are you referring to Phil Heath gear or are you referring to like me and Sush gear?
Yes, bro. This shit bothers me so much when I tell somebody, like when people say, "Oh, bro, you're on steroids and you look like that." It's like, bro, if I wanted to run I'm not saying I would look any better, but if I wanted to run 3 grams of test,
I mean, you'd look bigger.
yeah, bro.
Your skin would look like fucking beehive.
Yeah, it's such a blanket term. Oh, you're on gear. It's like, dude, you don't know how much I'm running. You don't know how long I've been.
You don't know what
on.
I'm taking. You don't know shit. So it's like,
bro, they think gear. They would think you are supposed to look like Chris Bumstead, bro. I swear to God, you guys. Some of these guys are so not you guys because I know you guys listening understand.
Yeah,
but people from like, idiots. They're like, oh, bro, you don't look like you're on steroids.
And
that's
also biggest fake natty justification is, oh, guys, if I took steroids, I obviously
I'd be way
don't look
bigger.
like Phil Heath, and they'll throw up a picture of Phil Heath. It's like, I don't look like this, so I'm natty. It's like, bro, the dynamic range of like gear use and mass monsters is so broad. Like genetics obviously play a role, but you can just take some test and just build a little bit of muscle and just kind of fill out your frame, or you can take grams of shit and look like Mr. Olympia, right?
Yeah.
So overall, is being on gear as bad as smoking and drinking in the long run? It definitely depends, but I'd say generally, as long as you're getting your blood work done and you're not taking ridiculous dosages and you're taking,
even if you are taking ridiculous dosages and you're still getting your bloods done and everything's good, like then
there's just a low chance of that happening.
But you're just like
hypothetically,
you're genetically like built
because
diff.
think, bro, you're not going to be getting bloods done. You're not going to be smoking and drinking every weekend and then getting your bloods done to make sure that you're healthily
your liver
running
enzymes, your lipids. Are good.
I'm running alcohol and I'm getting my bloods done.
Yeah,
like no one does that shit. They party, and if you're in that lifestyle, you're probably having fast food. Your diet's probably not in check. People that are on gear, like obviously, it's all risk mitigation at the end of the day, but it's like. It really depends how seriously you want to take health while running gear, and it comes down to like what compounds you choose to take. Obviously, there's some that are going to be really rough on like your liver and kidneys and shit, and then there's others like test where I'm not going to endorse it, but it's like if you're running a low dose of test, your blood work is basically not going to change at all. Versus natty,
dude. It's like my blood pressure, is fucking insane, and I'm on gear and I'm bulking, where it's like, so I take so much pride in, I do take pride in how clean my diet is. Mm-hmm. So it's like my blood pressure was, last time I checked, it was like 122/82. Like, which I can probably go on the street and go up to any random motherfucker who's never touched steroids in their life.
Be like, what's your blood pressure?
I could test their blood pressure, and it's probably just disgusting, like hypoglycemic or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I mean, because people that, like, I don't know, because there's so many people that run gear and don't give a fuck and they don't get their bloods done. Yeah, and they're just like, whatever. But I'm referring specifically to the people that do it in like a scientific way. Because we take after Derek. Yeah, exactly. The people that are the Derek type, you're going to be checking on your health markers way more than the average person. The average person, they think that since they're not taking anything bad,
Yeah, yearly physical.
Yeah, yearly physical. But it's like someone who's getting their bloods every couple months.
Yeah.
Because they know that they're taking something that could be bad.
Yeah.
They're going to, for one, they're just going to be generally healthier because if something's low, they're going to be able to fix it. And two, they're going to be able to catch something that's wrong way quicker than the average person. Average person might notice that they're fatigued, but they don't choose to actually get blood work about it for another 6 months because they're like, they don't know what's wrong. And then they get their blood work done and they realize they have like low glucose or some shit, And I'm
not saying steroid users are the healthiest people alive. But honestly, we probably, this side of it, like the Derek side, the more plates, more dates side, we're probably like the healthiest fucking people alive. Like,
okay, if you're natural and you get bloods done as often as a steroid user, then you're healthier. But if you're a smoker, drinker, someone who eats fast food a ton, a partier, and you don't take steroids, it's like good for you, bro. But you're probably not getting your blood work done. You're probably not paying that close attention.
I bet my liver could fucking outlive yours any fucking day.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, next one is Turknaty Trochesterone. It is a supplement that I guess it's kind of been around, but Derek was really the one that formulated it in the correct way and the correct dosage to the point where it actually works. Is it natural?
You have a mixed opinion about it.
I have a mixed opinion because technically it's not banned. And if someone said they took Turk, I guess I'd probably call them natural at this point. My opinion on it has changed. But it's like, okay, it's not going to affect your bloods the same way SARMs or steroids would. and it doesn't suppress you or anything like that. But at least in the rodent models, it's like comparable to D-bol in terms of its anabolic potential. So
I think Greg Doucette had a good.
I don't know.
Greg Doucette had a good. He was doing the video on Lex Little, and he was saying, "Is Trochesterone natty?" He's like, "I don't fucking know." It's like in 3 years from now, if the FDA or if WADA says if WADA puts Trochesterone
on his banned substances list,
does that make everyone who used Trochesterone not natty?
Right. Because that's like just arbitrary. Yeah. I mean, they have THC on the banned substances list. Does that mean anyone who's ever smoked weed is not natty? Obviously not.
So what qualifies as natural? You know, honestly, I don't think. Bro, I mean, it's like what Nate Diaz said. Nate Diaz said no one's fucking natty.
I don't like that though, because obviously there's just a practical difference between like, because there's that argument that I hear from people who are unnatural a lot, where it's like, well, technically everything's unnatural. Even Connor Murphy made a caption like that a little while ago, where he's like, oh, if you take creatine or if you take like a compressed form of protein such as protein powder, I mean, technically all of these things are unnatural, but at the same time, they're from nature. And in the same way, testosterone is from nature. So it's like, yeah, dude, but I think we all fucking understand the difference between creatine and taking fucking tests.
Also,
like, it's night and day.
Also, why do you guys care though if Trochesterone takes your natty card? I really don't understand the hype around being natty. I'm sorry.
I don't either, but for the sake of the fact that some people do, I will say, as of right now, it's generally considered to be pretty natty.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I would consider it natty as well. But it's just like, even if it wasn't, and are you still, like, are you going to take it or no?
Yeah. But no, if someone came up to me and said,
I don't know, but getting stronger
I'm natty, but on Turk, I'd be like, okay, so you're basically fucking natty.
Getting stronger in a deficit, though, it does sound pretty unnatty.
Yeah.
Shout out Jacob Shalvey. And Jacob Shalvey was like 4 weeks out from a bodybuilding show, and he was literally getting stronger.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucking nuts.
And
he was
Derek's
shredded.
friend, who was lifetime natty and had been plateaued for years, he gained 2 pounds of muscle in like 12 weeks or something, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a fucking lot for a plateaued natty.
Yeah.
And 2 pounds of muscle, if you go to the beef department and look at how much fucking meat 2 pounds of beef is, that's a lot of muscle to put on if you're a plateaued natty.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. This is a change of pace. YouTube banned Steven Crowder. I don't know how much we can talk about this. I think we can talk about it a whole lot because I saw Tim Pool talk about it a whole lot. But basically what he did is he did his own investigative journalism. He's like this conservative commentator from Canada, and he did a little bit of investigative journalism.
Now I know who it is. The guy who changed my mind.
Yes. Yeah.
We were talking about this before we started the podcast. I was like, who the fuck is Steven Crowder? And then now that you're saying it, he's the guy who changed my mind.
Right. And if you actually watch his show, he's not like far right or something. He's like pretty normally conservative. Like most normal conservatives would agree with the stuff that he says. He's pretty like center right, I guess you could say. And he did this investigative journalism thing where he paid some people to the voter addresses in a certain state in the U.S., I think it was Nevada, were public info. And he paid some people to go out to some of these voter addresses and actually investigate them. And a lot of these addresses were like empty parking lots, like empty fields, or like, old ruined homes or whatever. Just like random shit where clearly nobody lived. Yeah. And all he did was made a video about it. He didn't say that this affected the presidential election. He didn't say that this had any implications on the Biden-Trump election. He didn't say anything about like, oh, this is proof that the presidential election was rigged. He was literally just making a piece on like, hey, Nevada has some issues with their voting. They should probably fix this. And they booted him off the platform.
Did they say why?
No, they just said, well, they said it was because of that video. And they said this is, introducing doubt into the legitimacy of the 2020 election, which is not allowed, even though he literally said nothing about the 2020 election. And then they kicked him off the platform and they said, you're kicked off for 1 week. And once you're back, all your videos are demonetized, which goes against their own guidelines. Once you get a strike or once you're kicked off or whatever and you're allowed to come back, like on paper, all he got was a strike. And once you get a strike, once that strike is up, you're allowed to be monetized again. But they gave no legitimate reason because it's like, who are you going to go to and complain that's higher up than YouTube if you're complaining about the company YouTube?
Yeah.
There's no one, you can't go any higher than that. It's like, what are you going to go complain to YouTube? They're the ones that violated their own rules. You can't really complain, so it's kind of like you're fucked. So he's demonetized for life. And here's what's crazy.
He'll be all right. He got the merch.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, seriously, he's got to be making
suck.
tens of thousands of dollars per month with YouTube ad revenue, probably more. And he went on his second channel called Crowder Bits, and all he didn't, make any claims about the election or anything. All he did was just say, hey guys, a lot of you are asking what happened with my main channel. Here's what happened. Here's what YouTube said happened. I'll be back in a week. My videos will be demonetized. Just wanted to clear that up. It was literally just a phone video of him saying that. They removed that video and told him that if he did it again, he was like banned forever. And they said that that was trying to like evade a ban. But without getting too much into it, if you actually read their guidelines, it was not trying to evade a ban because his channel, Crowder Bits, was completely different from his main channel in terms of the type of content. So it was considered a completely different channel, and all he was doing was explaining why his main channel was banned, and they removed it.
That's
that's
really
like fucked,
that's
man.
like a gray area. It's like if they banned Sush, like my Sush YouTube, and then I hopped on MogCast and I was like, yo, YouTube just banned me, and then they hit me over here. They're like, no, you're not allowed on YouTube. I could see that, but like that's a gray area.
But
yeah,
it's not a gray area if you actually read their rules. Their
I
rules
don't
are
read shit, bro.
as long as MogCast makes different content than Sush, your ban is not applied to you. It's applied to your channel.
Yeah.
So you can still make content on YouTube. It just has to be on a different channel. So they violated their own rules. But what's my opinion on that? I mean, I'm not fucking surprised whatsoever. All right.
We're going to get banned soon.
Yeah, whatever. Next topic, mental struggles while cutting or bulking.
This one hits me hard because I fucking, dude, you guys know I was down tremendous when I was starting this bulk because I was scared to get fat because I already wasn't happy with where I was. Like I was okay lean, but I was small and I was just like had a little belly fat, but I was eating 2,400 calories, so I couldn't go any lower because I was starving. I was binging, and so I was like, "Fuck, what am I going to do?" Derek and James were like, "Dude, you got to fucking bulk." I was like, "Okay," so I started slowly. It started with a recomp, and then I started slowly bulking. And I started putting on this fat, and I was like, I can't do it. And so then when Noel came, I wanted to shred up for Noel because I was trying to make a good first impression. So like I stopped the bulk in the middle where it was. I dropped the calories 200, threw in clenbuterol, which is like a fat burner. Don't fuck with it. It's really bad.
And then dandelion root.
Yeah,
as well.
dandelion root extract. I was taking 3,600 milligrams of that a day. And I was just getting I was honestly looking pretty sick, bro, because at the time the Deca was in my system. I was full. And I was like dry, and I like looked really good, and I was really happy with where I was at. But then, it was counterproductive because I was trying to bulk. Yeah. And so when Noel left, I picked the bulk back up, and I started really like putting on some fat, and I was like getting really in my head, and I was out here eating, and I was cheating on my bulk. And then Derek was like, "Yo, honestly, dude, you just got to get fucking fat. Like, you got to eat." You just got to force yourself to eat. You got to get over that mental barrier of, listen, you're going to be fat for a little bit and it's whatever. So yeah, I put on, and honestly, I didn't really get that fat. Like obviously I'm probably 17 or 18% body fat, I would say right now.
Yeah.
But it's like
maybe lower.
Just
because
because
most of your fat in your midsection.
Yeah,
so it's like
so
your upper body looks like 10%, but then your midsection looks like 15%. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
So
but that doesn't really matter what the number is.
And that was yeah, it doesn't matter the number. And so that was happening, and then I was just like, fuck it, man. So now I'm here at 4,000 calories, and like I'm really excited to cut. So I feel like you just have to keep on telling yourself, like, it's only temporary. And I actually had, shout out William, if you're listening. I had him, he's a buddy of ours at Alphalete Gym. He was telling me, he was like, hey, man, I was watching your videos. And he was like, just fucking, man, just get fat. We all, when he said, he goes, this was in the bathroom, bro. I remember it perfectly. He was like, we all know, like, we don't watch you because you're, we're not
'Cause
going to
you're
stop
shredded.
watching. Yeah, he was like, we're not going to stop watching you because when you get fat, he was like, we all know that you're going to get shredded.
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me, bro, because that was just like a regular bathroom conversation, but I kept on like replaying that situation. And it's like, bro, it's so true. It's like what you're doing right now. So if you're bulking and you're like nearing the end of your bulk and maybe you want to stop it early because you're getting too fat, bro, just finish it out. And then, because you don't have to lie to yourself, I don't know. You're not just gonna not get shredded. You know, you're doing the bulk and the cut for a reason. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can go with the whole Greg Doucette thing where it's like only main gain, stop the bulk and cut. But like for my situation, I just really wanted to put on size. I was pretty skinny.
Yeah.
I was pretty small, and I was just like, I'm just gonna up the dose on my test. Ran DECA for a little bit, put on some size, and ate a bunch of food. Mm-hmm. So especially like the whole main gain thing, I feel like main gain only is good for when you're already pretty satisfied where you're at.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because I wouldn't tell a 15 or 16-year-old to main gain.
It's like skinny.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell them to main gain.
I'd say
I would tell them to eat. Dude, you're in your best stage of your life. You're hitting puberty. Eat whatever the fuck you can. Mm-hmm. But then with cutting, I've never been diced, so I can't really say. Well,
I'm just a bad person to ask about cutting because it's like literally I'm going to do a little cut in about a month here just because I want to look good with the boys. Everyone's going to be shredded. And I just want to reveal what's underneath. And it's like I'm already probably 12, 13% body fat. I'm not really high body fat, so probably going to cut down to like 9 or 8. And all I'm going to do is just start eating the food that Sushi eats. Like, I'm just going to stop eating the high-cal bulking food and just start eating low-cal food. Yeah. And I'm going to eat the same amount of fullness until my stomach is the same amount of fullness, but it's going to be less calories. That's all I'm going to do. I literally don't even think that I'm going to track.
Yeah, because you don't have appetite issues, so it's not like...
Yeah, like, I just have a small stomach. Yeah. That's literally what it is. Like, I can eat a little bit of food, and then I'm full, and I'm satisfied.
Yeah. So for me... Because obviously you guys know me, I have a huge fucking appetite. So with my cut, I'm starting off with just cardio. So I can continue eating 4,000 calories, but I'm just going to start off with cardio. And then I'll probably drop the calories 200 a day and then maybe add another day of cardio a week later. So honestly, if you're like me who have a really high appetite, bro, use cardio. Because that way, like, yeah, okay, cardio's a bitch, right? You got to go do cardio, but that way you can still eat the same amount. So you're still satisfied and satiated while you're throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And then as you do your cardio, like, and also cardio is something to do, bro. But that's another thing that I was going to say is when I was diced, bro, not diced, but I was pretty lean. I was small. I was like 170 pounds. And I wasn't on tests or anything. I just came off an LGD cut. I used LGD to cut. And I was like trying to maintain there. And I was eating 2,400 a day. Bro, the main thing for me was just like staying out of the kitchen or like keeping busy or going outside or like walking my dog or sitting in my room. So just stay out of the kitchen. So if you have a really high appetite, bro, and your parents are cooking, bro, do not fucking be in there because you're going to smell that shit and you're going to want to eat. You're going to want to snack. And I've been seeing the TikTok memes lately where it's like when you have one Oreo and you decide to have an 8,000 calorie cheat day, do not just have one Oreo because it's never just one, bro. Because when your insulin spikes, you're fucked. I'm telling you right now from someone who knows personally, I've had like, dude, literally, I would have nights in Georgia, bro. I would literally pull a stool up in my pantry. I had a walk-in pantry. Like, think of the laundry room, but it's just a pantry. I would pull a stool in there, bro. I'd sit down and I would fucking binge. And I would be, in my head, I'm like, bro, so bad. Yeah. In my head, I would be not tracking it because I wasn't weighing anything out. So in my head, I was like, oh, I'm not weighing it out. It doesn't count because that's how fucked up I was. So I was like picking up like M&Ms out of the bag, so into my mouth. So I was like, oh, like I didn't weigh it out. It doesn't count. I didn't track it. It doesn't count, bro. Because that's how fucked I was. Yeah. So I was sitting here, and as soon as I have one, or like I'll have one chocolate chip, bro, like your insulin spikes. You cannot stop. You literally can't stop, especially when you have an appetite like mine. There's literally videos of me in my kitchen when I was making like anabolic cookie, bro. You guys will see, like, I have one chocolate chip and I make jokes about it. I was like, a couple more. But bro, I wasn't joking. Like, I was literally downing these chocolate chips because like once your insulin spikes, it's like you just want to fucking go hard.
So I'd say maybe a good piece of advice is like if you're gaming or whatever, or you just want a snack, but like especially if you're gaming, because that's something where you just want to kind of like eat something instead of eating like, you know, regular old chips that are full of fat. You could eat like low-cal food, like carrots or something.
Dude,
like that.
I was thinking about just like when I cut, just having like celery, just like a million things of celery.
Celery tastes like shit to me for some
But
reason.
it's just
but carrots are easy and they're low-cal as fuck. Or you could, if you struggle to get your protein in and you want to keep your protein higher as you cut anyway, you could get some of those. What were those things we got? Flex chips.
Yeah, but I see the thing is with a bag like that,
You can eat the whole thing.
The act of me popping open a bag, it's like mental. So like a bag is so easy to grab, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, celery, like I would have to like open the fridge, take a plate,
Right,
lay it
but
out.
I'm saying if you're going to be snacking regardless, you might as well snack on something that's low cal that's going to fill you up, because those flex chips were only like 100 calories or something per bag. And after a bag, I'd feel pretty satisfied. I'd be like, that was good. And like,
well, it's different
I was
for
hungry
you.
Before.
You have a small stomach.
That's
for
true.
me,
But still, let's say even if you have a bigger stomach, you have 2 bags and then you're satisfied or whatever, or you're not really satisfied, but you're just casually eating. Obviously, having something that's low cal is going to be better. I think carrots would probably be the best though, because what's there like 10 calories and like 10 carrots?
I think carrots have a little bit extra because there's a little bit of sugar in there. But like celery is literally like
nothing.
Yeah,
It's
I think
fiber.
it's 0. I think it's literally 0.
Pretty close to 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so fucking celery. I'm just gonna fucking munch on that, and then I don't know. Obviously, I mean, I say this. I don't want to give you guys ideas, but like I'm going to be using stimulants. Like probably going to be using Adderall every other day. Going to be using the.
There's something that was better than Adderall. It was also less stimulatory. It was like less dopaminergic, which is good because you don't want to be taking something that's dopaminergic all the time.
Yeah.
But
which means essentially it just drips dopamine in your brain all day.
It just releases dopamine. Yeah. So you don't
want that because then you won't be.
Because you'll get dopamine receptor downregulation, I think is the proper term. But, the other stimulant, I forget what it's called. Phentermine, something like that.
Yeah, something
I think
like
that's
that.
the right name. Apparently it like nukes appetite, but don't take it from me. I've never taken it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good question.
So staying busy, guys. That's the answer.
Yeah, in low-cal snacks, if you want to snack throughout the day. Is Ziz a good role model or a bad one?
Yeah, I see. This is a tricky one because I think. Okay, for those of you who don't know who Ziz is or Ziz, however you want to call him.
Ziz.
Yeah, we call him Ziz, but supposedly it's Ziz. Like the Australians actually.
Well,
call him
that's
Ziz.
the Australian accent kicking in, but we're not in Australia.
So yeah, if you guys know who he is, he was pretty much a martyr for the fitness industry. He passed away in 2011, I think. He had like a pre-existing heart condition. Whether or not it was from the gear that he was running, I think his brother.
No, he had a congenital heart defect.
Oh,
But the
okay.
gear didn't help.
Yeah.
And he was also in a sauna.
Yeah.
So
and
those 3 things.
I
just
think he might have been on
helped him.
DMP.
I heard that he was on DNP, which is like a very brutally powerful fat burner.
Yeah, we have some. I'm never going to use it though.
Yeah, I'm definitely never going to use it. I have no use for that
We
shit.
have DMP here. Essentially, bro, it turns your body into a nuclear
Furnace.
bomb, bro.
It was
just
actually
burns
discovered.
everything.
Funnily enough, it was discovered from people that were working with TNT mining back in the day when they would make new roads. They'd have to blow out mountains with TNT. And these people who were working with TNT noticed that they were getting fucking shredded.
Yeah.
They were like, why am I so lean? And
They're breathing it in.
they were breathing it in. It was absorbing through their skin, stuff like that. It's actually one of the components in TNT is DNP. And they ended up doing some research on it, and they found out it's this one component, DNP. So
Yeah, so it's already heating you up, and Ziz was in a sauna, and
he had this heart defect.
yeah, so he passed away. But so is he a good role model? And I wouldn't say he's a good role model because a role model is a
Person that you look up to for their attributes.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say he's a good role model, but I would say he's a martyr. You know,
I have something to add because I think what someone stands for and the way that they inspire a generation, it can be separated from every single specific attribute of their character. So, for example, we look up to our founding fathers as like true patriots, true Americans, right? And a lot of people look up to them as like the guiding light looking down on us. You hear a lot, people will say, oh, the founding fathers would be turning in their graves right now, or the founding fathers are turning in their graves. But, you know, a lot of the founding fathers had like bad character attributes.
Yeah.
Some of them owned slaves and shit.
Yeah, slaves and
So the question is now,
beat their wives or something.
yeah, well, yeah, basically everyone beat their wives back then. But it's like, well, the question now is, for one, I mean, the whole like slavery issue is separate, but it just is a broader question of like, well, because these people, there were certain horrible attributes about them. Does that mean that we have to throw away all of the positive things that they inspired us for starting the USA, for being a symbol of resistance and rebellion and resisting tyranny? And my personal opinion is no. We don't have to
100%.
throw away all of those good things because there's other bad things about them. Just because you idolize their fighting rebellious spirit doesn't mean that you endorse their use of slaves, right?
Yeah.
So I think with Ziz, it's like, I'm sure there were certain negative attributes about him. And I was never like a real Ziz fanboy. It was kind of weird to me that like all these people were. And I was like, I mean, yeah, I've heard of him and I thought some of his vids were funny, but I never really idolized him personally. But, and I also kind of thought that like, is this really the best role model? But as time has gone on and I've seen how many people that Ziz has inspired positively to change their lives positively, it's like, who am I to say that this guy is a bad role model when he's inspired all of these people in a positive manner? Those people are not focusing on his negative attributes and using those negative attributes to look up to. They're focusing on his positive attributes, his whole kind of don't give a fuck what other people think.
Right.
Improve yourself. Be a sick cunt, which is basically just a way of saying like improve yourself
Yeah,
and focus on
don't
yourself.
give a fuck
and,
what anyone else
Yeah,
thinks.
exactly. So I don't think you've got to focus on like the rest of the negative things that he did. In fact, I think you can say, oh yeah, I don't like the fact that Ziz was this or that, or that he did this or that, but I still like the guy because he inspired me a lot in this way and that way.
Yeah, it's like with I would say one of the main people who inspired me was John. So John's bio,
John Skywalker.
Yeah, John's bio has always been ain't no role model. I think it is. And he makes that pretty abundantly clear. Like, don't do what I do. I take drugs. You know,
He used to take drugs. He's clean now.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
takes
I meant
beer,
steroids. I used to be addicted to drugs. I take steroids. I smoke cigarettes, like shit like that. Where it's like ain't no role model, and you know. He says that, but it's like, bro, you are a role model, you know?
Yeah.
Especially like people like me where it's like, you know, you don't give a fuck mentality, do what you want. Mm-hmm. So in a way, he's like, I'm not trying to be like John, but I'm trying to do what John does. Or, you know, kind of like, I'm trying to like.
You're not trying to be John, but you're trying to
be like him, I guess.
Be more like his positive attributes.
Yeah.
You're taking after his positive attributes.
So I would
and
say
there's nothing wrong with that.
So honestly, I would say, like, going back to the original question, like Ziz, I would say is, like, honestly, I was going to say not a good role model because of the fact that, like, because honestly, I wouldn't consider myself a good role model because I take gear, you know, I probably don't do the best, like, stuff to my body.
I guess there is a difference between being a good role model and being a person that people look up to for certain attributes.
Yeah.
If you want to define role model as being you look up to every part of this person and you want to be exactly like them, then no, I would say this is not a good role model. But if you want to define role model as someone that has certain qualities that inspire you, that you want to strive towards because you think that they're good qualities, then I would say he's a good role model.
And that's kind of how I am. It's like, you know, it's like the day old question where it's like, oh, should you really be telling these kids what gear you're on because you're giving them ideas? And it's like, yes and no. Like I'm telling you guys because I want to, and I want to be open, not to spread awareness, not saying, oh, go on this and that, you know.
But literally like, just because I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I have no obligation beyond that. It reminds me of, I can't remember the guest, but one of the really old Joe Rogan podcasts, he had this super scientific skeptical guy on, and Joe was basically saying, oh, look, Tower 7 looks like a controlled demolition in 9/11. And this guy was basically trying to convince him that you shouldn't even point that out because it might introduce doubt into people's minds about the legitimacy of the official story. And Joe made a really good point, because this guy was saying, with your kind of platform, you have a responsibility, you have an obligation, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, dude, I got no responsibility or obligation beyond talking about things that I think are interesting and having a conversation. And if people want to take that and run with it, then that's their fault. You know, I do not have the time or energy to make sure that every T is crossed and I's are dotted, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to have a conversation. And if people want to subscribe to that, if they want to hear that, if I end up growing a big following because of that, cool. I'm just going to continue to do what I've always done and just have a conversation. So it's like, in your case, it's like, dude, I want to talk about what I use because I want to be honest. I'll tell you guys, hey, do your own research. But obviously there's going to be some people that ignore that. But it's like, just because there's going to be some people that ignore that and learn the hard way doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking about it.
I see a lot of times I have like on my transformation post I posted 2 days ago, I was looking at the story reshares, and a couple of the story reshares were like, one cycle wouldn't hurt. And like, yeah, that's funny. But at the same time, it's like, imagine if someone sees me and they're like, yeah, now I'm going to run gear, and they go and it's just like, fuck.
If you're going to be that easily influenced to have someone online telling you, hey, guys, you probably shouldn't run gear and you should do your own research. If you're that easily influenced to do what they do and ignore their advice just because you want to look like them, then you would have done it anyway.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of time.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyone who's going to be convinced to go do a cycle of steroids and pin something into their ass because they saw someone online do it was bound to happen anyway.
Yeah. And and I'm assuming that like most of that is jokes. It's like, oh, one cycle wouldn't hurt, because that is a funny joke. But it's like, and I know you're probably a little bit serious though, so it's just like, yeah.
So a girl asked this one: what do guys want from girls in sex, relationships, etc.? I mean, that's such a broad question.
Yeah.
What do guys want?
So this would be more towards the girl audience,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, even though we don't really have that big of one, but we probably have 1,000 female listeners right now. Mm-hmm. So what do we want from girls during, well, at least for sex? It's just like,
yeah, for sex. I mean, I think the biggest thing is like, I think that especially in the bedroom, confidence is really sexy, and lack of confidence is like kind of ruins it for me. If a girl's like,
turn the lights off, bro.
Turn the lights off. Yes.
Fuck with the lights on, please, because I want to see,
or like
bro.
at least a little bit of light, you know. But
nah,
like,
not like this.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
like
it
a little
doesn't
bit
have
of
to be
light,
studio lighting, but like some moonlight coming in at least, you know. Is like, I don't want to be blind.
No, it's really apparent. It's really, really apparent because I actually was hooking up with a girl, and every single time we would hook up, she would say, turn the lights off. Mm-hmm. And it was so apparent. It was just like, just because you're insecure for whatever reason, you know?
Or they don't want to, like, they just won't do certain things in bed. I mean, it's such like a broad question, or a broad answer rather, that they just won't do certain things in bed, or they'll like kind of like move their face so it's not as visible. It's little things that I pick up on where I'm like, dude, like, you got to be in this.
Yeah.
And it's such a turnoff because if they do these little things, and I notice that, I'm not going to be thinking about like the sex. I'm going to be thinking about, damn, this girl's insecure. I really wish she wasn't feeling.
Yeah,
like
that's
this right
literally
now.
what goes through my head.
Yeah.
So maybe if you are that girl who says turn off the lights, so you should surprise your boyfriend and be like, he like goes to turn off the lights, and you're like, nah, like keep them on.
Yeah.
And then I assume, yeah. Or like to put a lamp on.
Yeah, put a lamp on the other side of the room, like just a little something.
Yeah. And so that way, I guarantee you the sex will be better because your partner will be 10 times more enthusiastic about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, that's the biggest thing is like when a girl just lets out her actual feelings and is like fully, I can't think of the right word, but kind of like committed.
Yeah,
to
not
the
like
sex.
suppressing.
Yeah,
suppressing how
not
she's
trying to be
feeling.
like, oh, I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that because he might think it's weird, but it's just fully like, just
Raw.
fucking lets it all out
Yeah.
and it's just raw. That shit makes it so much better. Like I can't put into words. It just makes it so much better. So if you're a girl listening right now, especially if you got a boyfriend, I understand it's different with hookups. You're gonna be a little insecure.
But this could go for guys too, honestly.
Yeah, for guys too. But if you're a girl and you got a boyfriend and you know that guy loves you, like, you don't have to be insecure about your little mannerisms or the fucking noises you make or like how your nose looks or, you know, little things where you might be thinking about it. Just ignore that and put yourself in the moment. And like, bro, when I'm having sex, I'm never thinking about like,
Damn, she looks ugly right now.
yeah, oh damn, like I think the angle of her nose is slightly too sharp. You know, I'm not noticing these little things.
Yeah.
It's purely like emotional connection. So it's like you're not going to be in that moment. She's like the most beautiful girl ever. So you're going to be ignoring the imperfections. I mean, unless she's like fucking really bad.
Paper bag.
Yeah.
Paper bag over the head. Do you think anyone's ever done that? Like actually tossing a paper bag? Like, because that's a joke, obviously. But you think anyone's ever tried that?
I mean,
that would be
bro,
fucked up.
That would be.
Maybe for like a funny porn scene. That'd be kind of funny.
Oh, yeah. For porn scene, I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say, because that's like a really deep answer, what you just gave. I would say for my answer, just like a little less deep, like more superficial, is just like talk. Like tell me, like whether you're just like talking bullshit, like little like sexy stuff. Like I like when you know she'll talk dirty. Like if she talks dirty, it's like really hot and turns me on and helps me out. Or like telling me what to do, like to slow down or like speed up or like a lot of times
that kind of relates
or
back
like
to what
right
I was
there.
saying with like not holding anything back. If she's thinking like, oh, I wish he'd go a little slower or I wish he'd go a little faster, that's something that she might be suppressing because she doesn't want to make him feel bad. But it's like, just let that shit out. Communication's important.
Yeah, 100.
Go on.
But yeah, communication. But like, yeah, little shit where it's like, if you're telling me what to do, I find that shit so hot because it's like you're almost just like taking the lead, but like still like I'm in charge, but it's still like she's still being submissive, but she's telling me like how to, you know, help it.
Yeah.
And honestly, if like I don't know, some girls say like no, both parties don't have to finish, but I don't like that because I would rather have.
I'd rather have her finish any day.
I would rather have her finish because, dude, like for me, when I'm having sex and I could tell she's really enjoying it, it sucks because that turns me on.
Yeah.
Like it turns me on to the point where I'll finish. So she was like, she'll be like, it'll be building up and I can tell she's really getting into it and that'll turn me on. So then I'll beat her.
Right.
So then I'm done, but she was like she was rising. So that's like, that fucking sucks for me. Because I feel bad. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I know she was really enjoying that, but that's why I finished so fast.
Well, if you
You gotta hop on the
like
epoxy.
if you make a girl finish beforehand, just with like foreplay and stuff, usually it's easier for her to during sex. So that's a little tip for anyone listening.
Warm it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just such a broad question, man. I think it really.
Well, for relationships, be grateful. That is one thing that I've really fucking learned, and James knows this, is be fucking grateful because when you're not, it's maybe he like, okay, so when someone says, when a girl says thank you, like, oh, thanks for dinner, or thank you, like, the guy will probably be like, oh, don't worry about it, like, no worries. But deep down, like, I can guarantee you he's really like, damn, she was really grateful, you know, she was really happy I took her out. So every time I want the girl, if I do something nice, like I want you to say thank you. I want you to acknowledge the fact.
Just common manners.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But don't ever be like, oh, he's done this enough times. I'm not going to say thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Don't
always thank you.
Don't ever do that because one, it's like I'm going to think, yo, this bitch just fucking, you know?
Yeah.
So I would say in a relationship is like to be grateful, and that goes both ways. Both ways.
I would say. I wouldn't say it's number one thing because I can't put a rank order on this, but one of the biggest things is do not be petty and play games because I'm going to notice that shit immediately. And it's going to turn me off so much.
You don't like that, but I kind of like that.
I know you like girls to do that shit. But with me, I'm like, are we adults or are we fucking children here? You know,
see, James is grown up.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just like, are you going to disrespect me by assuming that I'll fall for that bullshit? You know, that's what it feels like.
Damn, bro. That's fucking deep.
So
I don't really disrespect me like that, bitch.
So I don't like that shit because obviously I'm going to notice it. And it's just like, listen, tell me what I said, tell me what I did. And the thing with Hannah is she never does that shit. She's never petty. So if I do something that she doesn't like,
you don't have to pry it out
a certain way, I don't have to pry it out. And if it's ever something that I have to pry out, it's not because she's trying to be petty. It's because she feels like, oh, like I don't feel justified in feeling this way or whatever. But she never does that petty bullshit, which I love, dude, because
it's easy, bro. It's less
like
stress.
Respect. It's like you respect me enough and to like just give it to me straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you ever like when she's like, I'm not saying she's a bitch, but do you ever like when she's bitchy? Because not bitchy, but like I really like when a girl gives like she has an attitude sometimes. Like she almost not an attitude, but like she knows her worth.
I mean,
like she's not gonna let you like.
Yeah.
Let's say you roast her and she'll like just say something super bitchy back, but it's like you totally deserved it because you may have roasted her. You cooked her up.
If you're talking with Hannah specifically,
I'm just talking in general.
Okay,
like,
in general,
like
if a girl has self-worth issues and then she comes out of the blue with a statement that's like shows that her worth, then I'm like, oh, I liked that. She's finally starting to get it. But with someone like Hannah, she's always known her worth, basically. I mean, she's definitely like matured a lot over the course of what's been year and 3 months that I've dated her, but she's always basically known her worth. So like it's never turned me on or anything like that because she's never had an issue with it prior, you know?
Yeah.
So,
but I would say definitely guys would probably want a girl to, know her worth. And like if a guy's giving you shit, give it back. And don't be so sensitive because I know girls.
Oh, that's another big one.
What,
you just nailed it. Sensitivity.
Yeah. If a guy's giving you shit, because jokes are funny. Guys think stupid jokes are funny.
And like if we're giving you shit and it
means we like it.
I get that sometimes girls don't understand like, oh, what's shit and what's like serious.
You'll know when it's fucking serious, bro.
If we cook you about something and we're like, there's a smile on our face and we're kind of like looking at you friendly and like making eye contact and like giving you shit.
Yeah.
Is pretty, in my opinion, is pretty obvious. So it's like, you gotta, for me, what's super attractive is if I take like a shot at Hannah or something, or if I give her shit and she comes back with the sarcastic remark, kind of giving me shit, where all the boys are like, ooh, she got you back, because I'm like, damn, she actually like took the joke and instead of crying about it, she had the confidence to kind of hit me back even harder, But when I say like a little innocuous joke and I'm kind of just being sarcastic and a girl's like, don't say that. No.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's like,
bro,
dude,
I'm fucking
you're
kidding.
A fucking idiot. So don't be so sensitive and have it like, I know some girls don't have sense of humor, but like try to have the same, like
have the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
And like if your boyfriend or guy that you're seeing like gives you a little sarcastic roast, give him one back. He'll probably fucking laugh at it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
And then you could easily, like foreplay that shit into sex. Like you guys like start arguing and then whatever.
Play fighting, yeah.
But for me, being a bitch, not being a bitch, but like
just having a sense of self-worth.
Yeah, and having a little bit of attitude is like kind of hot to me. But I mean, like deep in the relationship, probably not. But like a girl, if I was just starting to see her and she was like, also being like super grateful is really good too. And and guys need to be grateful too if your girl's doing the dishes or
right,
just little shit. You got to say thank you for that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's it. That's all it.
Yeah, that's all we wrote down, by the way.
People asked.
what do we got? What else do we got to say? Right now it's 2:30 a.m. We got a little bit of time. No, I'm pretty tired.
I'm pretty fucking beat, man.
By the way, we've got a table coming in. So Gary from Young LA got us a super nice table. We're not going to talk about the price, but he got us a really nice table. It's coming in the next couple of weeks.
It's a sick table.
Yeah, so we just got to get... Yeah, thank you, Gary, for owner of Young LA, by the way. We're going to get some dope-ass chairs. We're going to put it... Actually, the podcast spot's going to move. It's going to go over there. Over there. That empty space that you guys have probably seen in our vlogs.
Yeah.
Probably deck that out a little bit. Put like a curtain, shit like that. Put acoustic panels as well. Mm-hmm. And we have a guest Friday. Will be Remington for Friday's podcast.
That's gonna be a good podcast.
Yeah, he's got
a life story.
Yeah,
man.
He's an older guy. He's an old head.
Well, he's not an older guy. Remington, if you're watching this, you're still a young man, but he's older. What's he? 30?
I don't know.
I think he's 30.
But he was saying how him and Sam are old heads.
Yeah,
but like listening to Eminem type old head. But yeah, he'll be here. I'm going to Chicago, or not Chicago. I'm going to Georgia. Going back home Friday. So while that podcast is up, I'll be home in Georgia seeing my family. Got to check up on the rents. So, but I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, that's gonna do it for episode 7. Let us know if we hit your topic or like if we didn't elaborate enough. This was kind of just give us your thoughts. I feel like this podcast I kind of liked because it was more of like the duo one. There's not
any direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We can kind of just go about our conversation and talk about what we would usually talk about, but just have the mics on, and then we can answer your guys' question as well. So if you guys like that kind of concept where we talk about what had happened in the past couple of weeks,
and then we get into some like questions or just things
shit that's on our mind
to cover. Yeah, and also just in the comments, we obviously appreciate all the algo comments, but the ones that like personally I really like seeing is when people give their opinion on certain topics, because I just like seeing what people think about it. So if you were thinking anything as we were talking about any of this and you were like, damn, I wish I could tell them that right now, go comment it. And we'll be hearting comments, responding to them. So that's going to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're going to go to sleep. We're fixing our sleep schedule, guys. So.
We are. I went to bed at 3 last night. This is a PR.
Sleep PR.
Yeah. So thank you all for watching.
We love you.
Anabars are sold out right now, unfortunately, but they're going to be restocking real soon.
Let us know you watch to the end.
Let us know you watch the end. Comment. I don't know.
Comment. Man. Dude, comment. What did we talk about, bro?
Comment, I watched to the end, and I know this because you guys didn't know what to say.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Peace.
Bye.